Tonight, new details shed light on what happened the night a Duluth police officer fired through a closed door, striking someone on the other side.
And high-quality education for all. That's the theme of a new plan rolled out by Minnesota's governor, how it could help students.
Plus, more vaccines. Michigan's governor says she has a plan to get the COVID shot into 50,000 Michiganders per day.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us tonight. New court documents shed more light on exactly what happened the night a Duluth police officer fired through a closed door and struck a man on the other side.
Officer Tyler Liebfried faces 2 felony charges. His attorney asked for them to be dismissed, but St. Louis County Attorney Mark Rubin filed new documents today laying out evidence to support those charges. The shooting happened in September. Liebfried and another officer responded to reports of a domestic incident at an apartment building in downtown Duluth.
According to the documents, they met the woman believed to be the victim. She was not hurt and told them Jared File, her boyfriend, was alone in the apartment. When the 2 officers approached the apartment doors, they heard 2 bangs, but told authorities they thought they were being shot at, but no bullets had come through the closed door.
Documents show the other officer backed away and did not fire his weapon. Liebfried waited 10 seconds, then fired 4 shots through the closed door. Documents show File yelled for him to stop. Liebfried waited a few more seconds, then fired twice more through the door, striking File in the shoulder.
According to the documents, the officers never identified themselves, and Liebfried did not issue a verbal warning before shooting. File did not have a gun and was never charged.
The documents say the shooting was not justified. It will be up to the judge to decide whether to dismiss the charges.
Let's switch gears and get a look at the weather tonight. Dave, a lot of beautiful sunshine out there, and it felt warm while you were right in it, but whew, a little chilly though.
Yeah, especially starting this morning where numbers did go below 0 for everybody here in the region, except right by the lake near Grand Marais. So 22 below International Falls, 12 below Hibbing, 7 below here in the Twin Ports, and Ashland and Hayward as well. Even 1 degree below 0 for Ironwood. It's going to get a little brisk again here tonight, and with the winds kicking up in Minnesota, we're looking at a wind chill advisory for northern Minnesota in effect until noon tomorrow. Wisconsin and Michigan off the hook because clouds will thicken up there tonight, and their overnight low temps may actually stay above 0 by a few degrees, and people there might get a little bit of lake effect snow going on too. So for tomorrow, Minnesotans especially get a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky with a high near 12. In Wisconsin and the UP, you just might get a high closer to 20 degrees with the cloudier sky and the slight chance for South Shore snow. But by midweek, I think the old equalizer of Arctic air will take over everybody with a chilly note. And we'll talk about how long that cold snap will last in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Creating equal opportunities for all Minnesota children. That's part of an education plan Minnesota Governor Tim Walz unveiled today. CBS 3's John Cardinelli listened in on the press conference to learn what this new plan will mean for Minnesotans.
The plan announced today is called Due North, and it aims to give every child a high-quality education no matter their race or zip code. It's a plan that's been in the works for the last 2 years. Governor Walz says he's been working with the Minnesota Department of Education, teachers, students, and parents of all backgrounds to create the plan. The plan aims to bridge the gap of racial disparities within the Minnesota education system, something Walz says has really come to light during the pandemic. In order to help bridge the gap, the plan calls for adding a new Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Center. Heather Mueller, Deputy Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Education, explains what the center aims to accomplish.
It allows us to support our schools in providing educational experiences and value the student culture and their identity. It also allows us to develop trainings for all school staff in the area of anti-bias practices and trauma supports. It also ensures that our students receive an education that is inclusive of the accurate history of the contributions of our Minnesota Indigenous communities.
The plan also addresses the issue of students' mental health during the pandemic. Those who spoke today say they hope to get resources to students who are dealing with mental health issues as soon as possible. Governor Walz was asked at the end of the press conference when all Minnesota students, namely high schoolers and middle schoolers, will return to the classroom. He said he hopes the state could be ready to announce that sometime this summer.
All right, thanks, John. And meanwhile, Duluth elementary students are officially back in their classrooms. This morning was the first day the district's pre-K through second graders could return to in-person learning. Governor Tim Walz gave the green light for elementary schools to reopen back in December if they could maintain a healthy environment. Lester Park Elementary School officials say they've been working on a plan since summer. They'll keep students in pods so they can stay within their same social group. They'll also wipe down high-touch areas, deep clean every night, and keep students 6 feet away from teachers.
I think this has been one of the hardest things that education has faced, and today, to be able to have all of the students come back in person with proper planning for safety is really exciting to us, and really exciting for our parents, too.
Duluth students in 3rd through 5th grades will return to school on February 8th. Middle and high schoolers are still distance learning as recommended by the state.
Minnesota health officials say a backlog of COVID-19 vaccines is the cause for slow distribution. The number of Minnesotans who have received at least the first dose of the 2-shot vaccine is less than 5% of the population. Officials say the evidence of a vaccination backlog became clear last week. That's when the state launched a pilot program intended to speed vaccinations to people 65 and older, educators, and child care workers. The online booking process quickly became overwhelmed, getting more than 1 million hits by early afternoon.
And because of those huge backlogs, Minnesota is making some big changes to the registration process. Appointments, including for those at the Mountain Iron Clinic, will now be on a lottery basis instead of first come, first serve. Online registration opens at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning and will stay open for 24 hours. The call center will be open from 9 tomorrow morning to 7 tomorrow night. Anyone 65 and older, teachers or child care workers can register for an appointment during those time frames. After that window closes, the state will randomly fill appointments from the pool of people who registered.
Anyone who registered and received vaccine the first week and then this coming week will be automatically signed up and registered to receive vaccine when that 3-week window comes for the second dose.
Over the weekend, the pilot clinic in Mountain Iron vaccinated nearly 1,200 people. We have all the registration information you need to know on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
Good news out of Wisconsin. Health officials there are confirming the lowest daily coronavirus case totals since September. On Sunday, officials reported more than 1,100 new positive tests for the coronavirus. The state was averaging about 6,500 cases a day in mid-November. The trend of lower cases and hospitalizations continues to play out in daily reports. Wisconsin currently ranks 37th in the country for new cases per capita. Meanwhile, the rapid COVID-19 test site in Superior has closed permanently. The location, which operated at the University of Wisconsin-Superior, ran its last tests on Friday. The site was originally expected to close in late December, but was extended by several weeks. UW reps say they usually base the decision to close on staffing and available tests. The UW system announced today some of its other rapid test sites across the state will keep operating through the spring.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is urging the state legislature to pass her COVID recovery plan. The proposal would use $90 million federal dollars to bring the state closer to their goal of administering 50,000 vaccines per day. If they were able to do that, they would get to their goal of inoculating 70% of residents by August.
So there is light at the end of this tunnel. However, we are still in the tunnel. Thousands of families still need support, and every one of us needs to continue taking this seriously and doing our part. That's why it's crucial that the legislature join forces with me to pass the My COVID Recovery Plan.
Whitmer added the plan, in addition to ramping up vaccine distribution, will support small businesses and get students and educators back on track.
Minnesota's governor is expected to present his budget proposal tomorrow with a big focus on bouncing back from the pandemic. Governor Tim Walz's proposal is expected to top $50 million. It will emphasize help from for small businesses and working families. It's also expected to include measures to get students caught up after a year of mostly distance learning. And it will set up the debate over spending, taxes, and other priorities at the legislature. Minnesota lawmakers must adopt a balanced budget before the current one expires on June 30th.
Copper nickel mining will take the front seat at tomorrow's St. Louis County Board meeting. Commissioners are set to consider a symbolic resolution supporting copper nickel mining. It also opposes pauses or bans on copper nickel mining and any future precious metals exploration. This comes after a bill was introduced at the Minnesota State Capitol this month that could block projects that haven't proved to be safe elsewhere. The county board has no direct control over copper nickel mining projects. Also today, Congressman Pete Stauber introduced a bill supporting copper nickel mining. We'll have more on that tonight at 10.
To come on Live Local CBS 3, a big winning Powerball ticket was bought in Superior. We'll have the lucky numbers next.
And taking a slow groove on over towards the Weather Center, we'll show you the almanac here, which says our record high temp is 47 degrees from 1973. Wasn't that warm today, won't be that warm tomorrow. But I will talk about when a warm-up will finally get here, if you'll come back right after our break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. For coverage that matters most to you, tune to CBS 3.
Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. Plus, subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
How can you show appreciation and say thanks to our area retail workers? While all gifts are appreciated, here is what helps keep us safe. The greatest gift of all. First, don't shop if you're not feeling well. Stay home and ask friends or family to help you. Keep your trips to a minimum. Pick up 2 weeks of supplies at a time if possible. Wash your hands before you come in and wear a cloth face cover. You can use a mask or a bandana. If possible, keep those cute kids at home and don't touch things you don't plan on buying. Keep your cash in your piggy bank and pay with your debit or credit card. Finally, try not to touch your face and be sure to wash your hands when you get home. Thank you for your help in creating a safer community.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? If you've been putting off some of those interior projects, now is the perfect time to start setting goals for yourself before the busy spring selling season. Visit yournorthlandhome.com for a list of ideas on what to organize, clean, or upgrade in order to get the biggest bang for your buck. Ready to sell now? Don't wait till spring. Inventory is still low and homes are selling fast. Call to schedule a private consultation with the JS Realty team.
At Play It Again Sports, we have the largest selection of new and used hockey equipment in the area, along with a huge selection of hockey sticks, apparel, and cross-country skis.
Trade in, trade up, and save!
Some things are just too important to leave out of your day. Make sure we aren't one of them. Live, local, CBS 3.
Tough as Nails, a competition about America's toughest workers who wear the calluses on their hands as a badge of honor. Is everybody ready to get to work?
My strategy is to give it my blood, sweat, and tears.
Since I was a child, I learned what it means to work hard.
I faced adversity head on, and I overcome any challenge.
You have to be 100% all the time because that's going to cost you your life.
Tough as Nails returns Wednesday, February 10th on CBS.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS 3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Arctic high pressure began to take over the region today, and first it conquered Minnesota, sent temperatures down, but really raised the quotient for beauty. Here's Park Point from Caden Anderson. Gorgeous shot of the sun and fresh snow and still liquid water. But with a cold snap coming our way, maybe things are going to be icing up. And if Wisconsin and Michigan are off the hook for really cold temperatures tonight, now, they may be on the hook for them to come around Wednesday or so. But by the time we get to the weekend, it will start to warm up just a little bit. Speaking of things warming up a hair over the weekend, it was warm enough to trigger some snow. We were thinking 1 to 3 would come, and it looked like the range ran really more towards 2 to 4. Coleraine had 4 inches, Duluth International 2.8, Cloquet 2.7, Superior 2 inches. Next snow chance might be with us Friday night into Saturday. Doesn't look like a great chance right now, but things of course change as they track towards us over the span of a week. Tracking into our region right now are these current conditions from Duluth International. It's 10 above. 40% is the relative humidity with a north-northeast wind at 7 miles per hour. Winds could be kicking towards 15 miles per hour tonight, especially in Minnesota, and that's why Minnesotans face a wind chill advisory until noon tomorrow. The air temperatures could feel like 30 below with the wind picking up. Actual air temps could go towards 20 below, especially by International Falls. Air pressure right now, 30.22 inches of mercury as that northern cold Canadian air takes over, at least in Minnesota, because you take a look at the current temps in Wisconsin and Michigan, they're really not so bad. Around 10 or so for the UP, and going about 10 to 15 here in northwestern Wisconsin. But getting away from the North Shore and the head of the lakes in east central Minnesota, you go towards the ranges, and it's starting to dip down, already to 12 below International Falls, so 20 below is not out of the question for that neck of the woods. Tonight, sky will be clearing and cooling in Minnesota as Canadian high pressure takes over, but clouds will be thicker in Wisconsin and Michigan. That's why it won't be so cold there, and there's a 40% chance for lake effect snow showers kicking up from the passage of a northerly wind. And then the higher pressure from Canada takes over everybody by Wednesday, holds on to us through Thursday, making it on the clearer side and the colder side, but will cloud up a bit again and warm up by the weekend as this low pressure system comes our way, bringing 30% chance for showers of snow on Friday, maybe a 50-50 shot at a couple of inches come Saturday. We'll keep you abreast of that and track it as it gets closer to us. But tonight, right on our doorstep is this cool down in Minnesota, going 20 below inland to 0 by the lake. Wisconsin, Michigan numbers, thanks to the clouds, warmer, 0 to 6 above. Mostly cloudy with South Shore flurries. Tomorrow, Wisconsin, Michigan, partly sunny with UP flurries and high temps in the mid to upper teens. Close to normal. Minnesota numbers, though, only 2 inland, 17 by the lake with a clear to partly cloudy sky. And I think we all get that mostly sunny sky hitting us on Wednesday. Then the clouds return Thursday. And there's our next snow chance. Light at first Friday, light again on Saturday, perhaps moderate if we push it, and then wrapping up come Sunday morning.
Burr, 8 degrees for a high on Wednesday. My goodness, it feels like we're stuck in that area now where you either have really cold or you warm up slightly and then you get snow.
And then it triggers snow. And for the snow fans, they're still hoping for it. The 2 to 4 over the weekend wasn't quite enough.
It was pretty, though.
It was.
Thanks, Dave. Someone is having a really great Monday after picking up a $1 million Powerball ticket in Superior. The winning ticket was sold at a Quick Trip near 28th Avenue. It was for Saturday's drawing. No word yet if the winner has come forward. Saturday's winning numbers were 5, 8, 17, 27, 28, and a Powerball number of 14. Now, after someone in Maryland won the $730 million Powerball jackpot last week, the current grand prize is down to just $20 million.
That is nothing to scoff at. A new hotel is coming to Superior. The new Cobblestone Hotel and Suites will be on Tower Avenue by Broadway. And today we learned Superior is getting a $250,000 grant from the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. The grant will help pay for construction of the new 4-story, 38,000 square foot hotel. It's expected to open by the end of this year.
Up next in sports, Grand Rapids Greenway hockey has been on fire lately. Kelly previews their matchup tonight, coming up next.
Arctic Cat snowmobile sale happening now at RJ Sport and Cycle.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Menards carries everything you need for your automotive needs. We carry a great selection of quality products to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Splash Ultimate Windshield Wash Fluid is great for winter months and is effective down to negative 35 degrees. It clears ice and salt while delivering a clear, streak-free shine every time. Right now, pick up a gallon for only $1.99. Save today with all of your automotive needs during Menards Home Improvement Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
When most people have ended their day,
ours is just starting. Good morning. I'm Jenna Wells.
When news and weather happen overnight, we're there.
As stories break in your neighborhood,
you can count on us to bring you the details.
For scores and more, we've got you covered. Hi, I'm Kelly Hinsett.
Why? Because the news that matters to you matters to us.
Plus, this is our home, too.
We're live.
We're local. We're CBS3.
I found our song.
Her husband will never grant her a divorce.
I told you this was not going to be easy.
He abandoned her. How much would it take for you to just let her go?
So you're trying to bribe me into leaving my wife?
What's the big deal? First time you did it for free.
A new Bob Hart's Abishola. Watch tonight or stream anytime on CBS.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19. And at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community, and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers get paid training to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. Army National Guard soldiers are learning skills that can set them up for success with companies looking to hire the best.
The Army National Guard basically built my resume for me.
Find out how you can learn a trade and serve part-time for your community and country by visiting nationalguard.com.
Epilepsy can affect anyone with a brain.
It does not discriminate.
If you have a brain,
you can get epilepsy.
But here's something that's just as important to know.
Anyone with a brain can affect epilepsy.
So let's use our brains to do just that.
Let's change the way people think about epilepsy.
To find cures.
Because if all of us can get epilepsy,
all of us can end epilepsy.
We just need to use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains.
Let's use our brains to end epilepsy.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Watch out for the Lightning, folks. The Grand Rapids Greenway girls hockey team sits at 14th in state Class AA rankings. And early on this season, they've given their opponents all kinds of trouble. 4 games into the season so far for the Lightning, they are averaging 7 goals per game, including 16 in their last game against Superior last week. That's 16 with a teen. Head coach Brad Heiduke says they were very young last year, but is using that experience to their advantage.
This year we're still very young. We only have 3 regular playing seniors. And so we're still relying heavily on, again, 8th, 9th, 10th graders. But these are 8th, 9th, and 10th graders now that have a year of varsity experience. And so I think that's been a real positive.
The Lightning are back in action tonight against Duluth. We will have highlights tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. And be sure to tune in this Thursday for Thursday Night Face-Off, where we will highlight all of the latest storylines from high school hockey in the Northland. That is Thursday in the CBS3 News at 10. It was truly a weekend of firsts for the UMD men's hockey team. First series sweep of the year, first few games back after getting last weekend postponed, and a lot of first-time goal scorers. 9 goals in total in the sweep over Western Michigan. 2 of those yesterday came from first-time goal scorers, and in a matter of a minute and 7 seconds, Connor Kelly and Ben Almquist both netted their first collegiate goals in the 4-1 win.
I mean, it's kind of like, the St. Cloud weekend where, Blake and Luca, they got those goals. And obviously they got us going a little bit early on with the power plays and couldn't really get through our 4-line rotation the right way. And, I think that was like their first shift. So it was a good shift. Hopefully we keep it going.
Yeah, that was huge. A guy like Benny who worked so hard, all the guys were just really happy for him, and we just feed off that energy, like you said, and we just took it to our advantage at the end of the first.
And this weekend, another jammed-packed 2 days of college hockey in store for the UMD men's hockey team. Both games against Miami University will be on the My9 Sports Network. Join us for Puck Drop on Friday at 6 p.m. and Saturday at 4 p.m. It's a sad Monday, meanwhile, for Packer fans after Green Bay lost their 4th straight NFC Championship game yesterday to the Buccaneers. The Super Bowl is now set. Tampa Bay will be the first team ever to host the big game as they take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The green and gold will now enter the off-season, with a lot to think about.
13-3 last year and 13-3 this year just felt a little bit different. Just the bond that we had, the camaraderie that we had in the locker room. That's what hurts. It stings just because of the way it happened, and it was kind of a repeat, digging a hole at the beginning of the game, and at least this one we kind of clawed back into it, and but obviously, we just ran out of time there at the end.
We now turn our the face by Matt LaFleur is just so sad. We now turn our attention to Super Bowl 55, which will feature 2 of the NFL's greatest quarterbacks. Last night, it was the Bucs' first trip to the Super Bowl. It will be in the first 18 years. I'm sorry, that picture of Matt LaFleur is just stuck in my mind in the AFC title game here in CBS. Patrick Mahomes and the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs beat the Buffalo Bills to return to the big game. You can watch Super Bowl 55 on Sunday, February 7th, right here on CBS. And that's going to do it for sports for now. A little more here coming up tonight at 10. Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, President Biden's decision to halt construction on the Keystone XL pipeline is laying heavy on many people's minds, and some Northlanders are worried this could lead to job loss in the mining industry. Tonight we'll hear from Congressman Pete Stauber about how he hopes his new legislation will save American mines.
Well, are you looking for a fun getaway for this winter? I feel like everyone needs a good getaway.
Yes,
huh?
yes.
Yeah.
I think everybody does, especially after the year we had.
Yeah.
Well, Stillwater, Minnesota may have the answer for you. A massive ice maze has been built, and it is being touted as the largest ice maze in the nation. There's about 1,500 blocks of ice, each weighing 350 pounds. So, fast math, the ice maze is made up of 500,000 pounds of ice, and it took workers about 2 weeks to complete. The maze comes complete with sculptures and ice thrown, and to top it all off, an ice slide at the very end.
That's a lot of stinking ice. My goodness. Dave, you'd have no problem making ice with the cold temperatures we've seen in the last 24 hours.
No, and if you find yourself in a maze, right hand on the wall and just keep walking till you find the exit.
All right.
That's how you
There we
solve
go.
any maze, cold or warm. Tonight, they will be cold, especially in Minnesota. Clear and cold in Minnesota tonight. Could go as cold as 20 below up north. Warmer in Wisconsin and Michigan, though, thanks to lingering cloud cover. By Wednesday, I think everybody's going to be pretty chilly, but we could warm up by the weekend, and that's when we'll get our next chance for light snow.
All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again at 10 o'clock. Have a great night.
Change the future.